This ancient island is home to the world's most famous person. It has its own wine, cake,
bananas, and the local Bitcoin movement.
What's more, the president likes Bitcoin.
As the government of the president of the government, I believe in the future and I believe in Bitcoin.
You can easily live on Bitcoin here. Can you guess where I am yet? They speak Portuguese and pretty good English. There's about 250,000 people living here. It's a warm 22 degrees all year round. That's 72 Fahrenheit for the Americans. And it's really quite affordable. You guessed it, it's the Canary Islands. This is Bitcoin life on the island of Madeira. That famous person, by the way, was Ronaldo.
Most followed man on the planet here.
And yes, I am touching his In this video, we're going to learn how an ancient, remote and low-tax island is paying and paving the way for Bitcoin's future. So Madeira ponchers well above its weight for magic internet money and football megastars. Indeed, as well as the Bitcoin-friendly president, there are over 120 merchants that accept Bitcoin on the island. They recently hosted a massive Bitcoin celebration featuring Bitcoiner billionaires Jack Dorsey, Michael Saylor, and many other Bitcoin advocates. And they have a non-profit organization called Free Madeira that's dedicated to promoting Bitcoin. But there's a lot of confusion, or confusão, when it comes to this Portuguese paradise and Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Conhece o Bitcoin?
Não, que é sobre roupa.
Super roupa. No, another guy who had no idea what Bitcoin is. The situation isn't helped by Ronaldo's shameless promotion of NFTs. So I've come to Madeira, microphone in hand, to set the record straight. Can you live on Bitcoin? Can you start a business here on Bitcoin? Can you retire on Bitcoin here? What do the locals think? And how are local businesses adapting to and adopting this new technology? And should you visit or even relocate to this jungle Bitcoin paradise? This is Bitcoin life on the island of Madeira. So I just got to Madeira, and one of the first things I did was to reach out to a Bitcoin-friendly taxi driver because, as per usual, I'm going to try to survive on Bitcoin while I'm here. So, I'm going to go find him and also drink in this wonderful view. Wow. Hey Riccardo, it's Joe. How are you doing? Good to meet you, man. I'm Joe.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. We set off down Madeira's winding roads, passing through Madeira's many tunnels.
There are about 270 tunnels.
270 tunnels. Riccardo shared his dream with me.
I want to become the best taxi driver of Madeira.
And he's saving in Bitcoin to one day afford his own full taxi license. I found Riccardo's number in the Free Madeira Telegram group. His story was one of many I heard of Madeirans using Bitcoin to improve their lives on the island. Coming up, we will teach a coffee shop how to use the world's best money for the very first time. We will welcome a 300-year-old home into Bitcoin, and we will make fun of my terrible Portuguese. But first, I hired a car from Vanscape Rentals, paying in Bitcoin, obviously, and I woke up to the most glorious sunrise to kick off my Bitcoin in Madeira investigation. We are on the way to an embroidery shop because I've heard that Charlie, who's one of Andre's assistants, he onboarded this place and it was his birthday yesterday. So I want to get him an embroidered Bitcoin bee. So yeah, welcome to Madeira, welcome to Funchal. Sadly it's raining, but that's what it's like on an island where there are 15 climates in one day. So this place here accepts Bitcoin, found it on the map, and apparently Charlie was the guy who onboarded them. See the little gift thing? Bordal, traditional embroidery. You've got to be really careful with the word bordal, because bordel is something else, and I'll let you look that up at home. Anyway, they accept Bitcoin, and we're going to try and get a Bitcoin bee embroidered while we're here. It's quite posh. Embroidery was the thing in Madeira in the recent past. But I have a design, and I want to give something as a gift to my friend. He's called Charlie. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, he was here with the Bitcoins.
Let's do it, that sounds great.
Maybe a handkerchief with his initials.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't know his surname. A C is enough, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, lovely.
That one is 17 euros.
17.
Yes, 17, yes.
That's reasonable, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
cool. I'll buy this first and then we can do the tour. Thank you.
Let me make a nice package.
Thank you.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can help,
nice.
yeah. This happens more often than not. Now, Madeira is steeped in history and keeps some of its traditions alive to this day. It's a Portuguese island that's in the EU, but it does have some sovereignty and can make some of its own laws. There's zero tax on Bitcoin, providing you hodl it for 1 year, and a lower corporate tax rate than mainland Portugal. There are lots of Bitcoiners already on the island, but I want to explore the merchants and places that are less likely to adopt the future of money, like a traditional embroidery shop. É muito impressionante.
Não é?
Sim. Como é o português? Só?
See, it's okay. We'll manage.
A lot of work.
Yeah. It's. I mean, the table cloths take 2 years.
Yes, we have some that take 2 years to embroider.
So all I do is scaneo. So I'm opening my app and then I scan there. I press send. The British Bitcoin exchange CoinCorner made this lovely lightning bolt animation. CoinCorner is a great wallet and a fabulous exchange. Check them out at coincorner.com.
Perfect.
Great, okay, thank you so much. Is João, is it? Yeah.
João. Yes. And your name is?
Joe. It's kind of like João.
It's that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Joe?
Oh, thank you. This is for Charlie.
Offer to Charlie, yes.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. Amazing, the idea of a 200-year-old tradition accepting Bitcoin and also looking towards the future. So I guess no one else has an excuse, do they? Next up, I'm going to check the map to find if there is a coffee shop nearby. I've opened up BTCMap again. I'm literally typing in coffee. There's one really close. A confeiteria, coffee and bakery. No mercado. Next up, I hit directions, Google Maps, and it is 70 meters away. That's good. Let's go. Oh, it's literally across the street. Hola, bom dia. É verdade que aceita Bitcoin aqui?
Bitcoin sim, aceitamos.
Sim? Ok. Então posso pedir brasileiro misto, se faz favor? Eres de Espanha?
No, soy venezolano, hablo español.
Venezolano? Ah, qué chido. ¿Y usabas Bitcoin en Venezuela antes de venir aquí o esté aquí mucho tiempo?
No mucho, ahora sí estoy utilizando más.
¿Ahora usas?
Ahora sí estoy usando mucho.
Ah, ok. ¿Para qué? ¿Para ahorrar o...?
Yo lo estoy usando por ahorrar, ya mucha gente lo usa por ahorrar, otros lo usan para mover el Bitcoin un poco, pero yo lo uso para guardar. Yo tengo Bitcoin y lo uso para guardar.
Nice, ok.
Obrigado.
Gracias.
Now with 350.
Ok, em Bitcoins, se faz favor.
Em Bitcoin?
Sim, se faz favor. Antes de pagar, tem muita gente que paga em Bitcoin ou depende do dia? Tem? Sim, tem gente, ok.
Esta casa siempre ha sido de la familia.
Ajá.
Tiene 241 años. ¿Quieren un licor de café? Es bueno.
¿Es? ¿Cómo?
Licor de café.
Licor de café, ok.
Es bueno.
Sí.
Gracias.
Obrigado. Gracias.
¿Acepta dinero en Bitcoin también?
No.
¿No?
Pueden entrar.
Gracias. Tiene Ronaldo ahí. Why am I showing you another beautiful piece of Madeira's history? Well, these Santana houses aren't just charming. They're a window into the island's past. These traditional, triangular homes with thatched roofs are a nod to Madeira's agricultural roots and resourceful architecture. But here's the twist. Despite the owner's clear love of history and tradition, he was quick to embrace the future of money, happily accepting a tip in Bitcoin. He took a few Bitcoin lessons on Blink Wallet, a Bitcoin beginner-friendly app, and away he went. I actually used Blink Wallet, BitKit, and CoinCorner all around the island to pay for things, including my car hire, as well as, well, pretty much everything in Bitcoin. It's very easy to live on Bitcoin in Madeira. Well, apart from one thing. Parking is one thing that doesn't accept Bitcoin yet on the island, so don't get caught out. Most of them are cash only as well, which is annoying. These don't accept Bitcoin. So we're on the way to meet Charlie. Charlie, as I understand it, is the Robin to Andre's Batman, and he's the guy that's effectively onboarding merchants and being that point of, I don't know, like a Bitcoin aid, a Bitcoin assistant, someone who these shops and bars and restaurants and cafes and embroidery places can turn to and say, yo, I have a problem with the POS, I have a problem with Bitcoin, I have a problem with Bitcoin's price, please can you make it go higher? And so Charlie speaks to the people who set the Bitcoin price and says, we're going to make the Bitcoin price higher. That's how it works, you know? No, of course not.
No way.
The Bitcoin price is determined by the last person to sell it. But yeah, so the fact that there is a Charlie is, I think, testament to the island's success when it comes to Bitcoin adoption. Because 2 years ago, there was like 2 places on the island accepting Bitcoin. Today, there is 100 and something. That's insane in 24 months to have that level of success. So this place is called Embroidery. I don't know what that means. And we're meeting Charlie there to see what his plan is, how he onboards these people, and how he does his job, basically. I've spotted him. He's wearing a hat that says Free Madeira. It's pretty hard to find. Hey, hola, bom dia. Hey, good to meet you, man. How are you? Todo bien? Yeah. I'm Joe. Un prazer. Is it okay with you if we film and sort of hang out and yeah?
Go ahead.
Yeah, great. What are you guys up to right now? What are you?
We are creating the wallet right now. Já criamos então a carteira. Agora vamos abrir criar o terminal de pagamento e todos os bitcoins cobrados no terminal de pagamento vão ir à carteira diretamente. É automático, não tens que fazer nada.
So Charlie is currently sat down with the owner, and the course of sort of events has gone as follows. A Bitcoiner called Rob has been coming here regularly, trying to pay in Bitcoin wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt. He insists. Other Bitcoiners come to the cafe, and eventually the owner somehow gets in contact with Charlie. This I need to work out later. Charlie makes a visit, sits down with the owner, sits down with some of the employees and tells them how to set up SwissBitcoinPay. SwissBitcoinPay is like a Bitcoin merchant solution whereby anyone in the restaurant can receive money onto their phones, but they can't send it. And at the end of the day, it gets swiped into an on-chain wallet. It's a really secure way of accepting Bitcoin. And they also turn up with this, which is free, it's open source. This is of course in Portuguese because we're in Portugal. And it's, Bitcoin for a local business. For example, here, it's explaining inflation by referring to the price of petrol in euros and in Bitcoin. See how it's getting cheaper in Bitcoin? And it explains some really interesting things. 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, lots of people are curious about what's going on and they're all quite keen to accept Bitcoin. So I'm going to end up giving out a lot of tips. George, did you find your seed phrase?
Yeah.
You've got it. Okay. So they're starting off with those managers that we saw, and then they see how it goes, and then they let the other staff do it. So I bet George is going to come out and accept the bit. There he is. Hello. Yeah. Yes, please. So it's cool. So here it says pay with Lightning or pay on chain. So I'm going to tap pay with Lightning. It's faster. Then I tap pay, and you'll see it's gone through. Yeah, you got it? Cool. Thanks, boss.
Thanks.
Yeah, see you soon. I've been hanging around with Bitcoiners too much here. I think that ultimately, if you want to stay in this Bitcoin bubble, then you can, and that's great. But also, what do locals think? What do the Madeirans think about Bitcoin? Do they understand what this thing is on my t-shirt? So we need to go chat to some locals. Oh, there's one. And understand what the local Madeiran thinks about Bitcoin. Come with me. Conhece ou sabe o que é este símbolo aqui?
Tem a ver com moeda e com o euro, não é?
Moeda com euro, sim. É. Então pode ser
Não sei dizer mais nada.
Nada? Do you know what this is on my t-shirt?
Bitcoin?
Correct. Sabe o que é esse símbolo?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, perfeito.
Não.
Não? Ok. É B para Bitcoin.
É, Bitcoin e os euros.
E os euros, ok. The second question is, usava Bitcoin dia?
Nunca usei.
Okay.
Mas eu penso que quem tem devia se meter.
Tem uma loja, uma empresa aqui?
Não, eu trabalho no governo.
A governo? Que parte do governo trabalha?
Secretaria Regional das Finanças.
Finanças?
Finanças.
Like the economy?
Sim.
No way. She works at the finance ministry. She was like, yeah, the government doesn't accept Bitcoin yet. No Amazing. Okay, that was the first person. Brilliant. She was lovely. Second question. Have you ever used, or have you ever had Bitcoin, paid for something in Bitcoin?
Just heard of it.
Não sei, talvez.
No.
No? Okay, ótimo. What is your opinion on Bitcoin?
It just exists. That is a part of life. I welcome it.
Fantastic. That's all I needed to know from you. Thank you so much. Tenho opinião sobre o Bitcoin?
A opinião que vejo nas redes sociais, o pessoal a falar desse maneira.
Tenho opinião sobre Bitcoin?
Não.
Não?
Não.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Conhece o Bitcoin?
Não. É sobre roupa.
Sabe o que é esse símbolo aqui? Sabe o que é esse símbolo aqui?
Não sei, mas eu acho que eu já vi esse símbolo.
We've definitely shown today that people don't know what Bitcoin is still. A lot of people might have heard of it, but they've never used it. And we are clearly so early on this Bitcoin journey, even in a place like Madeira, where there's like 130 shops that accept Bitcoin and there's a strong Bitcoin community, they need like a massive Bitcoin statue or a Bitcoin shop like Andre was talking about. That would help, because then you could point to it and say, there's a Bitcoin shop where you can learn more. I had some more fun Bitcoin conversations and even gifted Bitcoin to people who had maybe heard of Bitcoin but never used it before. Also, sometimes I feel people are just saying yes to me and pretending to know what Bitcoin is because there's a camera and they're being very nice to me. But you can check the full 30 minutes of chaotic street interviews on my channel. I would like to thank Plan B Network, a one-stop shop for all things Bitcoin education. I refer Bitcoin beginners in street interviews to check out planb.network all the time. Thank you, Plan B. Anyway, the most important takeaway for me was that we're early. We're so early. Fortunately, there's a local initiative to fix the educational gap, and it's picking up steam. Another side of the Bitcoin community here is the tech, or the nerds. I say that with affection, of course. Now, there's the SEC, or the Sovereign Engineering Cohort, I believe, which meets in Madeira, and this is the third one they're doing this year. It's taking place in Andre's co-work, and there's about 30 computer geniuses from all around the world that come here to develop tools on Bitcoin, on Nostr, and on other freedom technologies. So you have the Bitcoin community, you have the sort of free Madeira guys who are doing the work behind the scenes, and then you also have these techie coder guys. So it's all working together, as well as the locals. We're going to check that out tonight. It is a beautiful evening in Madeira, and one of the other components that Free Madeira does on, I think, a monthly basis is Bitcoin beginners classes, where people take part in a Bitcoin class, a Bitcoin education service. With me, I always, of course, recommend that you check out Plan B Network for all things Bitcoin education, but in Madeira, they host these education classes in Co-work Funchal, which I'm sure you all know by now. And yeah, gonna go say hello to some people and hopefully chat to Enrique, who is the teacher.
The second edition of the Free Madeira workshops, Introdução ao Bitcoin, Introduction to Bitcoin. They are understanding what is money, how money is created, what happened in 71 from the scratch, so they understand better what Bitcoin solves and why Bitcoin.
Como se chama?
Cristina.
Cristina, prazer. Então é a primeira vez que faz
workshop.
Sim, workshop de Bitcoin?
Yes, it is the first time.
Oh, you speak English? Great.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
let's do it in English.
Much better.
Yeah, way easier, thank you. So, how have you found your experience here today?
It was very nice. I like the teacher. He's very nice. So far, so good.
Nice.
So far, so good.
That's great.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. Did you learn anything new today? Or anything surprising? Or anything?
Yes, was fun. And the WTF,
Yeah, we can say it. What the fuck happened in 1971?
What the fucking happened?
What's your name, sorry?
I'm Manuela Delgado.
Muito obrigado. Prazer. How was your first ever Bitcoin class?
Foi há 3 anos atrás, quando eu me reformei de toda a minha atividade e achei que precisava de me ocupar com alguma coisa, e como sempre gostei das áreas novas, fui à procura das criptomoedas.
Então isso não é a primeira aula de Bitcoin?
Não.
Uau, tinha experiência na vida de criptomoedas?
Sim, alguma.
Ok.
Mas quis vir a esta por curiosidade, por ser só Bitcoin, porque habitualmente quem fala destes temas fala das criptomoedas em geral e não só de Bitcoin. E também quis vir aqui para conhecer um pouco a associação que não conhecia.
Ótimo. Muito boa
resposta.
Obrigado. E também uma aula de português para mim.
O problema da Madeira e o problema de Portugal é que não há literacia financeira e, como tal, teremos que dar um passo em frente todos, e associações como estas são muito importantes.
Ótimo. Muito
Ok?
obrigado.
Obrigada.
Charlie is just showing Manuela how to receive Bitcoin payments by a Bitcoin card, because she was the first person to introduce Bitcoin cards to Madeira. We're going full circle. The lovely Manuela, who once brought the first ever credit cards to Madeira, is now learning how to use Bitcoin cards. It's just amazing. This was my first deep dive into the Bitcoin island of Madeira, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do what you love and save in Bitcoin.